Welcome, everybody. This is day number 4, and we are now dealing with costs, hard costs, opportunity costs, on all that good stuff. So, how did all of that go for you? I'm just going to put this down here, day 4. Mentoring now live. So let me add that right in here. And then I'm right back over here because I have to like switch back and forth. Anyway, so do tell. were you sitting there and you're like racking your brain and pulling out the the calculator and thinking about, geez Louise, what is she making me do now? So I am actually pretty impressed, to be honest with you, what you guys have done, because I'm looking over here in my cheat sheet and I see that you have been you are digging deep. I mean, good for you. And what big impact we're already making. You see, just with this little like day, this 5-day challenge. I mean, today's day number 4 and you're already having like massive breakthroughs. That's pretty impressive. Let's go. So Marlana says, the good news with this challenge is I'm discovering I'm in better shape than I thought. I have a clear understanding that my dollar activities are shooting and selling. And out of those two, I really only have the one to shoot. After all, that's why they're hiring me and not someone else. That said, everything else can be hired. What I need is to make a list by priority of the things to hire out that will make the biggest impact. My goal is to get my business working with streamlined processes. I know one thing I have to do is have someone set up a CRM for me. So, yes, the objective here is to figure out where is your time best spent and who should you be bringing in, who would be doing the things that you are doing right now for less money. And once you got that figured out and you run the calculations, which we're going to be going through, the results are just crazy, because you go, wait, what a minute, what happened here? It's like, I thought I was saving money by doing all of this by myself. And then you realize you're not really saving any money, but you're wasting money, or you're spending money because you're using time that you could use for money generating tasks somewhere else. Maureen says, today's question has been my biggest challenge thus far. And I am not surprised that it is, because, so here's what sort of psychologically happens when we ask our brain to go somewhere where it's uncomfortable. So because it's going to signal to the brain that might be a change. And there are psychological models that deal with change and the threat a change presents to our psyche. So when we walk into this and we say, well, I'm doing the best we can, and I'm working hard, then everything is okay. But now when we're going in and we're saying, well, is your hard working and is your dedication and the endless hours you're putting in, is it actually producing a result? Then there's now the part in the brain that goes like, oh, no, mean evil spirit attacking, we must be protected from this onslaught of negativity. And then we try to find excuses. Well, it's a really difficult business to be in. Artists generally don't make any money. Other people like me are even worse off. It's not that bad, or it's bad, but it's doable. It's Trump, it's the economy, it's where I live, it's 1,000 different excuses. So we're trying to come up with stuff that is whose fault it is that we cannot be held responsible for being where we are. Not having any money is probably the number one excuse. But now you know that is connected. Not having any money is connected with you not doing what you're needing to be doing. And that is why, when we come into these moments where we have to confess or we have to take a hard look, it's hard to take the emotions out and say, what are even the facts? Which is why I encourage you to just look at the facts. Now you know why, because I didn't want you to be like, and like be, bleeding in pain and suffering as you're going through this. This is a painful exercise for everybody. It's a painful exercise for people making 6 figures. It's a painful exercise for people making 7 figures, because it's always the same question. It's like, let's take a look. What is this kind of costing you? And sometimes I encounter micromanagers, and they are managing like every little detail, and it's costing them so much else, so much other missed opportunity costs. And to this question, the missed opportunity costs are the things that you don't get to do because you're so busy putting out fires somewhere. So imagine a micromanager that is just paying attention to every tiny little thing that everybody in their team does, and how much that hinders this person to really step up to where they're supposed to be at, because they're constantly like down here on the ground floor. So that is a missed opportunity cost, because it costs you so much more to go into the details they should never be bothered with, because you are not getting to where you need to be going. So Maureen, here it goes. So you said your business does three things: create mandala and spiritual art, and create designs for coloring, intuitive readings, one-on-one and groups. You're an artist, an intuitive reader, a software engineer, web designer, and a programmer. How did that happen? Office-related skills, computer secretarial assistant, and a teacher. So that's a mouthful of things to do. Skills you lack or skills you're barely adequate at: copywriting, marketing, business management, project management, money management. Ideally, I would delegate that out. Photographing, digitizing the art designs for my website and for print on demand sites. And you do know that you are now in a group with like a whole bunch of photographers. There's a lot of photographers in this group. So could you maybe utilize that? Or hey, is somebody in here who could maybe help her with some photographs? Just checking. Anybody in the room here that could help Maureen with some product photography? Pretty funny, huh? So moving on. So you said photographing, something that you can afford. Maybe somebody's in here who needs a spiritual reading or some art for a wedding or something, or or just for a party. Who knows? You can't hurt to ask. Then finding a copywriter to rewrite my intuitive readings page to better describe what I offer. You got a couple of you have not received any inquiries for readings. I will tell you probably what that is all about. Is because you're not telling them what they're getting, but you're talking to them about yourself, which is what we do on Monday. We'll go deep into that. So you went on Facebook today and took care of some of the things, asked them if somebody could photograph it. You saw a college photography student. Just make sure that he knows what he's doing so that stuff looks good, because if it's not looking good and it doesn't help you with sales, that's not going to be beneficial for you. You researched online copywriters, posted a request. Then there's a copywriting for crafters on Creative Life. As you know, I love Creative Life courses, and yay, thank you for buying or investing in 2 of my Creative Life courses. I think with the 2 different courses combined, I think we have now 10,000 people that have watched these courses. Really, really crazy. And I just got a nice little check again, talk about passive income, which is why I'm doing that. So, my courses for Creative Life, just we talked about this, are really for people that are, they're very self-motivated, and they can just follow it along with a workbook and turn your talent into a business and building your authority platform are 2 wonderful courses. They're very well priced. So if that's something you're interested in, it's always kind of good to have. What else did you say? Okay, so let's talk about this. So the final analysis, Maureen, you said how wisely delegating tasks, hard costs, can give me more time to do what I want, what I do so well. Opportunity cost, generating more income, and more opportunities to delegate out more tasks. Love it. Yeah, that's it. Why are you bothering doing the stuff if you can give this to somebody else? And if you don't take care of that, then why, then you're stuck, then you cannot be moving forward. And that is now, really costing your business big time. All right. Then we have Deb. And Deb, wow. So you said that you have hard costs for the business. Then you are estimating the hourly worth of the average artist. I thought that was a really interesting way to put that. The hourly worth of the average artist. So I mean, that is so loaded. So an average artist. What is an average artist? But I'm just goofing around here. It is, after all, Friday afternoon, and in some places it's, I think, really late. So thanks for being here. So you said time spent per month in hours and tasks. So you're calculating that based up on that rate, and then you go through, if you were to hand out the marketing, hand out the Google Analytics, handle all this other stuff, you'd be actually making a profit. So you'd be spending $720, but you'd be making $1,500. Now, how is that for a slam dunk? So that's what I want to hear. So that was really well done. I think you're a little bit off with the prices here, but I think the gist of what you put together here is spot on. It really is about that calculation and just getting that clear in your head of how much it's really costing you not to do this. So what you all have not done, though, is to say, if I, my opportunity costs, I'm like losing out here on $780 a month. So how long have you been doing this? So you've been doing this for what, 5 months, 4 months? So 4 times 728, so it's about $3,000 you lost if you would have, made these changes earlier. And that is opportunity costs, just explained. It's like when you take these costs and you multiply them by the amount of time that you haven't done anything about it, is you're going like, wow, I could have used this money and put it somewhere else if I would have done this properly. But I know this is a tough mind shift to do, because we're not trained to think that way. We're trained to think in fear and in paralysis of, what if it's not working? What if nobody loves me? What if people reject me? What if people don't like my art? What if my photography is not that good? What if somebody says I'm doing a lousy job? What if I have no right to be here? Maybe I should be at the post office. No, you shouldn't. This is something that everybody goes through. I go through this. Everybody goes through this. When I shifted from my from my selling my business into this business and building a training company for entrepreneur skills and leadership, it's not exactly that the world is rolling out a red carpet, even though with all my accomplishments and everything I've done, and a resume this long of stuff, and being in literally the top 1% of the country, to have done something like this, and still I have to remind myself, it's like, you are good enough. And so I think it's a daily ministry, especially for women, because we're so used to putting ourselves down and look for imperfections, that it's hard for us to look at it and say, I'm really good. I'm really, really, really good. So again, this what in growth architecture, that's why I designed it, because I really felt that we need a structure and a system that when we ourselves are going into these moments of despair, fear, anxiety, paranoia, insecurity, that we, have something to lean on, and something that props us back up, because we just simply know what we need to do next, so we can go and repeat the same step again. So that's why I do what I do, because look at what you guys are doing. It's what, day number 4, and we haven't even done anything yet. You haven't even done the training yet. I'm just asking you questions, and just by me asking you the right questions, you're having breakthroughs. Can you even imagine self-promotion? Can you even imagine how much more you can get once you're in a training that I facilitate? Because this is just me asking you questions. We haven't even done anything yet. The real stuff, is yet to come, if you so want to, because that's how it's designed. But you see how much the process works. Just the right question makes you triggers so much breakthrough. Maureen says, I also want to add that I can see where I want to spend $50 to have someone photograph my stones. It would be cheaper than me spending time to do it, because you can spend $100 an hour for readings. Yes, that's exactly right. I'm really glad you got that figured out. And then Debbie, you said you put the numbers together and you don't understand opportunity costs. So I hope I explained that to you a little bit better now. And you said there's so many components of my business that I'm missing, and you never had the strategy written up. So you need that. Yes. everybody needs a strategy and everybody needs a plan. And then, as I said, we extrapolate it. So you said you have your opportunity costs by not hiring someone is $3,240. And then you said, and let me see if I can, so you have the hard costs for the business, okay? Then you have the hourly worth of the average recruiter. Time spent per month in hours and tasks, 266 hours or 66.5 hours per week. Bookkeeping, billing, items and can be offset to hire somebody. So, okay. So you were spending $3,240 and you could hire somebody to do it for $650 a month. You're losing $2,600 a month. I mean, how is that feeling when you read it like that? I mean, did you like have, oh, the whole, like, you know, the curtain opened, the sky opened, the clouds opened, the sun ray came right down on you and the angels sang when you saw that? That is pretty epic, isn't it? And you may not have to work Saturdays and Sundays, and you could, you know, have a life to enjoy with the people you love, which we like, which I want for you. Melissa came dashing in with a few minutes to spare before we went live. She says, I design and sell activewear and apparel for women who dress modestly and are traditionally. And the stuff is amazing, amazing. I mean, what a brilliant line. You say it's a niche market. Well, let's just say the size of the market, that's not very niche. It's, I think it's a specialty market, but it is big, 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 big. And your background is in marketing, so you got the sales bit down. So high on your list is getting your items in the hands of modest specific athletes and other items into general population retailers. So you are looking for influencer marketing and making sure that some of these, you know, these people have access to your clothes, so that way you can take the you can get the social media images, and then you can brag about that these athletes are a part of yours. So I think there's some good strategies I could think about for you to go and do that, because you really have a phenomenal opportunity here on your hands. So, but true to form, today you asked a boutique sales rep what it would cost to have them approach retailers, yoga, women, Pilates, sportswear specific. The cost is high but doable. I then asked an agency that specializes in digital marketing the cost to do social media ads. And again, so I think that at the end of the day, it all comes back down to the same foundational piece. In order for you to push forward, because what you've now done, if you're having major breakthroughs, which is so cool for me to see. But what you still need to do, you still need to figure out how to talk about what it is that you do and why you're so special. So now we are figuring out some of these elements that are in your way, some of these areas that you need help with, some of these areas that are not functioning properly. And now we need to go and say, okay, so we have now more elements in place that we know we need to pay attention to. But what is the business? You know, with Melissa, her business is very, very clearly defined. And then we need to talk about it and say, the reason this matters is because people who want to buy it because. So people that buy it, use it, feel a particular kind of way. So now that we have sort of some of these elements together as to what we're trying to achieve and what our breakthroughs are going to be, now we need to flip it over and then look at this from the client's perspective, because they hire us to deliver something for them. And that is usually the, another one of these really difficult things to figure out, because how do you talk about yourself and how do you say, why am I this great intuitive reader? And why would you come and have this done by me and nobody else? Why would you come to me and use my recruiting services over somebody else's recruiting services? Why would you come and have me take the photos compared to anybody else out there? So there really is a lot that goes into it for um, you know, describing the language. And I think that's kind of what I'm seeing here throughout and have seen throughout the last 4 days from you, where you are, you get in, you're getting a business hang of things now, right? So you're going like, yeah, I'm jamming with this. This is cool. I got, I know kind of what's going on in my business. Pretty empowering, isn't it? Pretty empowering feeling. And now we need to step into action, and we need to devise this strategic plan, because yes, you can hire, of course, somebody to do something for you, but you still need to have the plan in place. Without the plan in place, now you're still adding more puzzle pieces. So I want you, this is what we will be talking about on Monday. The foundational piece, how do you build it? What's in it? What's required to do that? And then what can I do to help you to actually achieve that? So for tomorrow, we are having one more challenge tomorrow that I'll be posting tomorrow morning. I know it's Saturday and it's Cinco de Mayo. So I've been kind of contemplating on whether or not we should go live tomorrow afternoon. So as you're listening to this video, will you just shoot me a quick yes or no if you think we should go live tomorrow afternoon? Because Cinco de Mayo, I mean, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, margaritas, tequilas, tacos. I mean, does it get any more important than that? And I will be actually at the United States Women Address tomorrow. Michelle Obama is speaking in the evening. I'm still going to make it, and maybe I'm going to do the mentoring right there from the event, but then it'll be on my phone and not in my fancy like lighting and microphone kind of setting. So just let me know if you prefer to have your mentoring session tomorrow, or if we just push the whole thing then to Monday morning at 9:00 when I put it all together, and then we're going to go over everything. But in any case, I'll be here tomorrow morning to post the challenge. So that would be great if you could give me some answers. So what else do I have to say to you? I think you are brilliant, especially for those of you who are watching this and responding. I know there's a lot more because I see the downloads and how many people are kind of, watching the videos and not saying anything about it. So that's okay too. We want you to be happy. Make sure, and I've said this like 5,000 times now, make sure you got the accountability guide at growtharchitecture.biz. It's free for you to download, and just go along with the challenge and, make your notes so you have a record of it. And I'm just trying to make it easy. And for the training on Monday, you're going to need it anyway, because I'm going to make you, think and write things down and come up with a couple of things. Also on Monday, I will be doing this 2 ways. So I'm going to broadcast this on Facebook, but I think there's also a way I can give you a link to the Zoom conference, which means that you could actually video conference live in here. So I'm going to figure that out, and I'm going to post that. So for those of you who want to then just watch on Facebook, you can do that. For those of you who say, no, it's time for me to talk to her one-on-one so I can see your beautiful faces and little, video windows on my screen, that would be amazing, which is part of why I wanted to use Zoom to do this, because it allows me this functionality. So that's it. I wish you happy Friday, happy hour. Go out and play. You've done a great job. I'm very proud of you. This is remarkable on with what little you have already accomplished. Such amazing changes in your thinking and the way you approach your business. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. Good night.